Hi, everybody. So my name is Andrew Pope. I'm one of two co-directors of the MSc Design and Development of Digital Business. So I'm going to talk you through the course, talk you a little bit about what the course is about, and why you might want to do it. And I'm also joined by Caroline Manny, as I said, who is the other co-director, and she'll maybe jump in for questions at the end. So just before I get into the kind of the nitty gritty in terms of what we actually do on the course, I just want to give you a brief kind of glimpse in terms of the idea behind the course itself. So normally, if you think of a organization and you think of a customer or a user, every single time they interact with each other, you have what is known as a touch point. So a touch point can be something which is digital, it can be something which is analog. So it could be an application, it could be a website, it could be an interactive kiosk or a AI bot or whatever the case may be. And on every customer experience, you will engage with lots of different types of touch points. And what we're doing on our course is what we're trying to do is we're trying to create students who can design new innovative touch points to improve the customer experience for customers and to remove those touch points that cause frustrations. So that's really what we're doing. We're designing touch points to improve the customer experience. And in order to do that, what we're doing is we're combining design, technology, and business strategy. And of course, you can do technology on its own, you can do design on its own, and indeed you can do a course on business strategy. And we're one of the few courses that combine all three of those together. So when we created the course 6 years ago, we were really creating a course that was designed for the future of work. So how we imagine people would be working in the future. So close collaboration, working in design sprints using an agile based approach. And the kind of the design work that we put into our program has really stood the test of time. So we've created a course that's really flexible and agile and suitable for the way people are working now, even in an age of AI. I'll talk a little bit about the kind of the project that we do in a while, but we are an award winning, we use a kind of an award-winning sprint-based project approach. So Caroline and myself won Business Educators of the Year based on this approach that we use with the students. One of the really important things to maybe point out as well is that all of you who'd be joining us will have completed an undergraduate degree program. So it doesn't matter whether you're coming from business, whether you're coming from law or from the arts. We will take your existing knowledge. So we will take the things that you already know and we'll transfer that into the digital space. So it's not just about starting fresh, it's about using what you know already and then augmenting those skills with digital and design. When we created the program, we built it around 4 key pillars or foundations. So those modules are delivered across 4 key areas. They are analysis, design, development, and strategy. And what that really means, I suppose, in practice is that we will give you those practical skills to go into an organization, to understand how that organization works, to try and uncover problems that are being experienced, and then giving you the skills to generate ideas to solve those problems, to create prototypes, then to prototype and test those prototypes with real users, and then finally to turn those prototypes into working software and to make sure that there is a business case behind everything you did. So really hands-on problem-solving skills. And we deliver those skills, as I said, across those 4 key areas, across 2 semesters. And then at the end of the second semester, we take all of the skills that you've learned across semester 1 and 2, and you apply them to solve a real world problem, either with a client who comes in and pitches you a problem, or some students go away and create their own digital startups as well. Some of the kind of modules that we cover include things like user experience design. We spend a lot of time talking about design thinking, and that's a kind of a fundamental skill that all our students use to solve problems. Service design, business model innovation, Everybody who joins us will not have done software development in the past. So we teach it from kind of entry level. So we do front end and back end software. So we teach you the foundations and the fundamentals of creating computer software in semester 1. And then we do something really interesting in semester 2. We then show you how to create software using AI. So we give you those skills to understand and write software, and then we turbocharge your ability to create that software in semester 2. And that's a new module that we've introduced this year. We have students who go on to establish lots of different careers, lots of different roles. There's kind of a perception when you talk about technology that you're just talking about technology companies, but that couldn't be further from the truth. We have students who are working, of course, in the typical technology companies, but also students who are working in pharmaceuticals, finance, management consultants, and even startups as well. And the kind of roles that our students go into are those kind of roles that were not possible through your undergraduate degree program. So we have user experience researchers and designers, product managers, technology consultants, business analysts, software developers, service designers, quality assurance engineers, database administrators. This course really unlocks a load of new types of roles. In fact, some of these roles are really, really new, and I suspect that there'll be new types of roles that we're also training students for in the future as well. So it really does open up a kind of a world of opportunity for you, and once again leverages what you've learned on your undergraduate program. We have lots of examples of students who joined us on the course and have gone on to establish outstanding careers, students coming from lots of different backgrounds. On the screen at the moment, you should see on the left-hand side, we have one of our students, Barry. So Barry was a student who did an undergraduate program in UCC. He did an undergraduate program in biochemistry. He's now working as a consultant in Accenture. In the middle, we have Megan. So Megan did nursing in UL and was practicing as a nurse up in Dublin, decided to do the course in Treble DB. Absolutely loved the experience and is now working as a senior associate for Lilly in their connected devices division. So that's a kind of a prime example of somebody who was an expert in a completely different field, somebody who was an expert in nursing, and leveraging that experience and then giving the students something extra so they could, start a new career, in this case, in connected devices. We also have on the right-hand side there, we have a student called Ilaria. Ilaria joined us from Italy. Her undergraduate program was Foreign Languages and the Information Society. She came because she read about the course. She absolutely loved the design and the technical modules that we teach, and she's currently working as a product manager for a marketing company called Global Reviews. So this is somebody who is taking somebody, this is an example of somebody using their existing skills and augmenting them with some additional modules on the program. Industry and technology is changing so fast that it becomes almost impossible to make sure that the curriculum is responding in real time. So one of the things that Caroline and myself did very, very early is we made a decision that we were going to bring industry right into the classroom and to do it frequently and repeatedly. So we would bring industry experts into the classroom. They would talk to us about what kind of issues they were experiencing in their respective sectors. So to talk about the challenges they were facing, and talk a little bit about new technologies and things like that that are being used in industry. So to get that kind of cutting edge technology into the classroom every single week. So on a Tuesday between 2 to 4 p.m., Caroline and myself bring in industry experts every single week. When we started off the program, most of these experts were coming from other courses and other companies. And one of the things that I suppose we're most proud of is that now the experts are coming from our course. So increasingly, we're having graduates who are returning to talk to the current students and talking a little bit about how they're applying the skills they learned on their course in industry. So we're giving you a window into what it's like to be working in industry, how you'll apply your skills, giving students a kind of a sneak peek at the types of challenges that people are going to be facing in the future. And I suppose most importantly, by exposing students to these kind of problems and giving them the skills then to solve those problems, we're creating new types of roles and opportunities for the students. We have kind of a little bit of a mantra, and we kind of say that, you know, we try to teach the students that to kind of design the right thing, to make sure that they're building and designing the right thing, but also to make sure that they're designing it in the right way. And if you give students such as yourselves that opportunity to understand design, to understand how technology can be used to transform an organization, we can have real impact on individuals, organizations, and indeed society at large. We think the course is really, really unique. The way in which we work is one of the primary reasons why employers hire our students. So they will hire them because the way that we work reflects what's happening in industry. Or alternatively, you have employers that want to hire people that are working in this kind of fresh, collaborative way and bring them into their organizations. So we continue to evolve. I think, as I said, that new kind of design of the course, which was about combining the best of design, technology, and business, is still really in demand in organizations. So I suppose one of the things that we want to do to encourage you is to say, look, we want you to kind of join our growing network of designers, builders, and innovators. And unlock your career in a way that perhaps maybe you hadn't considered in the past. Take your undergraduate program and just add that little bit extra to unlock a whole host of different careers. And I do want to open up to questions, but I do want to say maybe that you can reach out to either Caroline and myself, or email addresses are appearing on the screen there. But also what you can do as well is maybe connect to us in LinkedIn, because we are constantly sharing examples of what's happening in the classroom, the kinds of people who are coming in to visit our students, career successes of our graduates and things like that. So yeah, really do check out LinkedIn, because we're constantly updating it. And it'll give you an opportunity maybe to see what our students are saying, not just what we're saying. So yeah, we'd love you to consider our course.
Amazing. And it's fantastic that after 6 years, you now have the alumni coming back, presenting from these kind of senior roles, going out to the world and doing wonderful things.
Yeah, it's I suppose the nature of a new course meant that we were bringing in lots of people to meet our students for the very first time. But now, yeah, we're bringing back old friends, which is absolutely amazing to see. And we have that kind of critical mass now, and that growing network of past students who are in very senior positions across the host of different industries. So yeah, it's really, really reassuring, and it's also really kind of motivational for the students as well to see what's possible once these once these graduates come back into our classroom and stuff like that. Yeah.
Mm. And I think the other big thing is, like, often when you think, well, I'm a creative person, there's no place for me in business, like there really is a massive need for people that have that skill set. And it sounds like this kind of program can bring that skill out in a business perspective that gives you, a great career, but also allows you to put your own flair onto things and bring people together and, innovate. I suppose.
Absolutely, and like creativity really is at the heart of what we do. We say that it's aimed at creatively minded students, so it may be the case that you don't think of yourself as creative, but we show those kind of methodologies and approaches that help people solve wicked real world problems using design. So it will open up creativity to people who maybe hadn't considered it in the past. But I think when you kind of marry technology and design together, something really, really powerful happens. And I think that's what we've done on the course.
Fantastic. Do you have anything else to add, Caroline?
No, I suppose one thing just to highlight is like creativity is essential for innovation, and sometimes people from different backgrounds coming together in a team can be a lot more effective in solving problems than maybe, having a lot of people maybe from the same undergraduate degree or the same profession. So you do see a lot of industry looking for people that maybe didn't go the traditional path, because they do add a diversity and a creativity that they wouldn't have get otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely even know myself from years of recruitment of early entry, like there's only so many of the same course that you can hire, and when you see someone coming from a different background, especially when you're thinking about consultancy and all the industries that they service, that sometimes you can bring that into a different environment and just reposition yourself. Fantastic. Okay, so I think that I don't think there's any questions in the chat, but thank you so much for sharing your details. And again, just for the people that are on the webinar, I think it's fantastic to highlight how the program directors have such an open door policy, and they'd be more than happy to answer your questions at any stage. So I will bid you farewell. Thank you so much.